Hello, everybody. I'm back with another message today. And the message for you guys is to stay calm within the storm. Now, usually you hear people say stay calm before the storm, but today the message is about staying calm within the storm. And this message is inspired, well, at least it came to me when I was reading First Samuel chapter 23, verse 7 to, I believe it's 14. Now, pretty much this is, for those that don't, for a bit more context, David, after defeating Goliath, became very popular amongst the people where he lived, and it got to a point where people were celebrating him more than they were celebrating the King Saul at the time, which led him to become envious of David and therefore push him to try and kill him. So we'll be reading from, as I said, 1 Samuel chapter 23, verse 7 to 14. Saul was told that David had gone to Keilah. He said, God has handed him over to me. David has trapped himself by entering a town that has gates with metal bars. So Saul brought together all his soldiers to go to battle. He ordered them to go down to Keilah. He told them to surround David and his men. He told them to get ready to attack them. Now, to come back to what I was saying, this is pretty much Saul putting up a plan to trap David and kill him out of jealousy, I guess. So yeah, just for a bit of context. Verse 9. Yeah, verse 9. David learned that Saul was planning to attack him. So he said to Abiathar the priest, bring the linen apron. Then David said, Lord, you are the God of Israel. I know for sure that Saul plans to come to Keilah. He plans to destroy the town because of me. Will the citizens of Keilah hand me over to him? Will Saul come down here as I've heard he would? Lord, you are the God of Israel. Please answer me. Now, usually when we're in the midst of difficulty, spiritual warfare, or just general difficulties, financial struggles, struggles at work, the first thing most people tend to do is stress, as God, or the situation seems unsolvable. I can't seem to find a solution. What am I going to do? This is too much for me, right? People tend to panic. But what I find interesting with this passage, is how calm David is, and the fact that he first consults God, right? So he explains the problem, and he's asking the right questions. I think when we have issues, we tend to ask God the wrong questions and ask Him for the wrong things. We want Him to give us a quick fix, to get out of the situation, right? A quick exit, to make it easier, make it go away. But David is asking the right questions and making sure that, him and God are on the same wavelength when it comes to what is going on, and also what he has to do to get out of the situation. The Lord said he will come down. Again, David asked, will the citizens of Keilah hand me and my men over to Saul? And the Lord said, they will. Now, despite getting confirmation that someone is out to kill him, instead of panicking, he then follows up by saying, will the citizens of Keilah hand me and my men over to Saul? Now, the way he formulates his question, and the posture he adopts when he's asking this question, puts him in a situation where he can take decisions based on whether he has to stay in Keilah or not, right? As you can see, he's not panicking, Again, he's not asking for quick fix or quick exit. He's just making sure that he gets the right information from God, which will allow him to take the right and necessary decisions to navigate through the situation and not find an easy exit. And I think that we should all look at this and adopt David's posture when we face with difficulty. Now, 13. So David and his men left Keilah. The total number of them was about 600. They kept moving from place to place. Saul was told that David had escaped from Keilah, so he didn't go there. Sometimes David stayed in places of safety in the desert, and other times he stayed in the hills of the desert of Ziph. Day after day, Saul looked for him, but God didn't hand him over. Now, in the end, God didn't hand David over to Saul. I mean, for one, because I don't think that it was his plan for David to be handed over. But I think Saul's faith and Saul's posture also contributes to the whole situation, right? And we should have that same posture. I encourage every one of you to change your perspective. Again, I talk about perspective a lot in my videos, but it's really about perspective. I really want to encourage you guys to adopt a David-like mentality when you're faced with issues, and don't panic. Consult God and let Him guide your steps. When you're within the storm, when you're facing difficulty, just slow down, ask the right questions, and let Him guide you in the holy flow. So that's the message for the day. Not too long, but just what is necessary.